First off, good morning, and I guess we should say Happy Valentine's Day, shouldn't we? Bright and early, right around 7:30 as we begin this Sunday morning. I hope you get a chance to make it to church. If you're in the Meridian area, this area is going to be okay to make it to church. North of here, might want to watch online. We'll get into where the breakdown is on where the forecast is, where it's going to be bad, and where everything is headed. New updates we've gotten from the National Weather Service overnight. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I listed the National Weather Service has added Clark County now and also Jasper County to the winter storm warning. Let's pull up radar and take a look at that before we start going across here. As we pull up radar, right here, here's our button. This is Meridian. We've also got Sumter County added to this also, and as you zoom in over here, Alabama has joined the party. Demopolis, y'all be ready. Livingston, Utah, all of y'all in the winter storm warning. We move down to Clark County under a winter storm warning, and also Jasper County. Both of these counties before were not included in this. They wasn't even under a storm watch. Now Wayne County and down through here is all under a winter storm watch. We get down to the coast, and it's a wind chill watch and hard freeze watch that they've issued there along the coast of Mississippi. So we have some very serious weather that is headed our way. If you didn't or you hadn't watched me before, is the word preaching for the last couple of days of what's coming. We'll get into the amounts that is expected in the next 24 hours when it's going to come, and it could have put us down for quite some time. Power outages are going to happen. If you have not had a chance to go get the supplies that you need, do so. After tonight, I'd suggest if you don't have to travel, stay at home. Now, let's talk about this. We're in the South. You think a front-wheel drive is great. It's not going to help you. The next thing, when it comes to snow is one thing and ice is another. Just because you got a four-wheel drive, it's not going to make a difference. It will slide off in the ditch just as quick as a car will. So leaving home is just not advised, period. After this stuff sits in, hits the streets, it's going to be bad. Mississippi and Alabama just simply does not have the equipment to get it out and keep the roads clean like they do up north. We're not prepared for it in any shape, form, or way. It's going to be a mess to say it. That's the best way to say it. So they'll be able to get some stuff on bridges, but the back roads, especially on the rural routes where most of us live, not going to be able to do much about that. I want to say, let's see here. Good morning to Charlene Gaddy up and Adam. Debbie Stewart is up. Galen Bradshaw is up. Good morning to you there, my friend. Sandy Hemingway Clark. Yep, over in Decatur, is it? Good morning to you. Also, Miss, I'm going to say this wrong, but I'm going to attempt because I'm not up on my Louisiana language, but I will try it. Mary Goodrow, maybe? I'm sure I said that wrong. I never can pronounce those right. Angela Calvert is watching. Good morning to you. Also, Miss Joyce Stamper, Hazel Brumfield, watching. Thank you. Sylvia Stewart is up. Miss Gail Gafford. Scott Crash is watching from So, Mississippi. Good morning to you there. Let's see. Agnes Skelton is up. Cliff Gardner. Miss Brewer. Cindy Brewer is up. Kay Johnson. Kay Vulcan from downtown Quitman. And Quitman, you've asked me several times about Quitman. Now, a lot of this is going to be aimed toward Quitman as well this morning. We have ice accumulations that are coming. So deep breath, get your supplies, get your blankets, and be ready. Ramona Norton is watching. Also, Tanya Spivey, Linda Payne. Appreciate you watching there. Deanna Dively. Also, Ricky Hickenbotham. Ricky Wayne, how are you today, brother? Tammy Godwin Roberts. Tammy Godwin Roberts. I always get your last name mixed up, Tammy. I'm so sorry. I hope Murfreesboro is treating you well this morning. All right, let's start and work our way across the states, and let me show you what's going on. Let's start in Texas. Texas around Dallas is already getting it this morning. Let me pull up some cameras around Dallas and pull this up. We can just take a look. I have a friend that lives in Dallas that texted me just a little bit ago, and home right in the center above Denton is where they live, and it's a lot of it. Let's start here and show one of these. We'll just pick one. Do you see that? Now, for whatever reason, Dallas, I can't blow up their pictures. That's as big as I can get it. But if Wow. Yeah, thanks y'all for doing that. But if you'll look, let me do that while that refreshes and rethinks what it's doing. There's a lot of ice right there now around Dallas, a lot of snow that has come down. Let's go back. I think it's working now and pull this back up. Yeah, here we go. As we look at this, they've got an overload of people that have visited the site is what's going on. As you can see, all the interstate there. Let's take a look here at this one here and look at the snow that is coming in. That's looking down at a bridge there. We go north of downtown Dallas. Look at that. It's a heap of it. Now, this is part of what's coming. Plenty of that. As you go up through here, University Park in that area. Let's go south of Dallas and see how it looks there. Same situation. So Dallas is getting this stuff. Look at that. Now, that right there, if you could see that well, and I know it's on, if you're on your phone, it's a smaller screen. It's a lot of precipitation that is headed our way. All right, let's flip over and move into Louisiana. I don't think, let me look back over here. Louisiana has not got a lot going on right now. North of Alexandria, a tad. Around Shreveport, there was some earlier this morning. Nothing heavy, but let's switch to Shreveport, Louisiana, and pull up one of these cameras here. Here's Shreveport here. Everything's running smooth. No problems in Shreveport. All right, let's jump over to Mississippi. And this is at the Mississippi River. Let's pull this up where you can see Mississippi River at Arkansas. That's going up on the bridge going into Arkansas there. No troubles whatsoever in the state of Mississippi. So good so far, and we'll just switch on over to Alabama since we're on a roll going across, looking at what's going on across Birmingham. If we look at this, Birmingham is doing quite well too. No problems in Birmingham this morning. Everything's running smooth. If you were headed that way toward Huntsville, all of that's perfect. We'll keep checking back on these conditions across the Southland and giving you a bird's eye view of what's happening outside of the Meridian area just to keep you informed. Now, let's look at temperatures. Let's pull this up here. Let me pull this around where everybody can see here. This is a map that gives us temperatures. This is, as you can tell, the darker the color, the colder it is. All right, let's start here in Mississippi with us, and let's move in and walk up here. Down in Gulfport this morning, we're looking at 36. As we move up, it keeps dropping there. Let's get on toward Meridian, Mississippi. We're sitting at 30 degrees right now. Meridian has a wind chill right now of 20. As we go south down through here toward Quitman, you're sitting right at the freezing mark in Quitman this morning. As we go over to Jackson, 28 degrees up through there. All right, let's move on up the state here and take a look at what we've got. Let me zoom in when we get some towns where we know what we're talking about. DeKalb, Mississippi. Salute, 29 degrees for y'all sitting there. Scuba, Mississippi is at 30, below freezing also. Let's move over here toward Philadelphia. We're sitting at 28 degrees in Philadelphia. We go north and follow this up. Now, this is the line that I keep talking about right here to where just north of Philadelphia, it's going to be a little bit worse than it is in the Meridian area. That little 30-mile stretch in between Meridian and Philadelphia is going to be a world of difference in the forecast. So our friends in Philadelphia, Neshoba County, Winston County, all in those areas, be prepared because it's a winter weather event coming your way. I've heard that mentioned. Louisville this morning, sitting at 27 degrees right now. And if you follow that through Noxapater, 28. So it's a degree difference in between Noxapater and Louisville. Let's go on up to Stark Vegas. 27 degrees at Mississippi State right now. Over at Ackerman, 27. Columbus has 29 degrees. Okay, we got a look at what's going on in Mississippi. Let's move out now and move over to these other states to which has got some of this weather that's headed us, showing you what's going on. Greenwood, Mississippi, up in the Delta at 21 degrees. Cleveland, 19 degrees. All right, we're into Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas right now is at 16 degrees. Conway Twitty's old town there at 15 degrees in Conway, Arkansas. Fort Smith, Arkansas, we're sitting at 16. Let's keep going. It's going to get colder. Let's St. Louis, Missouri, sitting at 0 right now. Can you believe that? Now, I've been to this little town, several towns. It's right across, barely into Illinois there, Evansville. It is sitting at 5 degrees this morning. As we come across to Wichita, 2 degrees. Topeka, Kansas, 3 degrees. Let's go over here to Amarillo, Texas. What do we got? It's sitting at 0 right now. If you're in Amarillo, Lubbock, Texas, it's 5 degrees. Out here in Midland, Texas, where I brought this up a couple of times before, 14 degrees as we go through here. Austin, 26. But the further north, let's go up here to Colorado. -9 in Colorado Springs this morning. Des Moines, Iowa, -9. Sioux City, and if I pronounce that right, -20. Minneapolis, -17. Okay, I think we all agree that these are temperatures that we're not used to. Now, we have some extreme cold coming our way that we're not used to. So we've got a small window. Let me do the forecast, and then we'll get into the maps of what the National Weather Service has given us and give you a timeline. For some folks, it's probably borderline that you shouldn't even and leave home north of Meridian area. Meridian right now is okay. Let's go into the forecast and talk about when you need to be back home and don't leave. Now, again, let's go back over four-wheel drives. Once this hits the ground, is not going to help one iota. It's going to be slick. You won't even be able to control a four-wheeler on this. You'll lose that and wreck. Four-wheelers can, and keep that in mind, you can lose your life on one of them just as quickly as you can a vehicle. It'll slam you into a tree and hurt you bad. So walking to your car is going to be rough. Your sidewalks. Do you have any salt that you can put on your sidewalks? If you've got a path that you have to go out and say you have to feed animals and keep them up, cattle, chickens, or whatever the case is, make sure you got you some salt that you can throw down on your concrete to where you won't slip and fall. Because if you slip and fall, how are you going to get to the hospital? It would be rough. And what they say, and I'm telling the truth on this, don't travel, because what if you have a wreck? You slide off the road. Well, they can't get to you. You'd have to stay in your car for an hour, 2 hours, maybe longer. If you are going anywhere in a car, make sure you carry blankets and food with you. How many times have we read those stories of people up north that run off the side of the road and they're not found for 4 or 5 days? We don't want that to happen to you. So the safest thing is, just kind of stay at home and avoid all that. Let's talk forecast now. I said I would. And again, let me say some thank yous to the folks that help me out each and every day that are sponsors of the weather that help everything work around here. EMEPA, great folks. They're going to be working hard for you behind the scenes. We'll look at the power outages here in a minute and go over all of that. Good folks that are going to be there behind you. Eastgate Tire in Marion, Matthew and his family owned for a long, long time. His dad, Larry, kicked that off many a year ago. They're going to take care of you when it comes to tires. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply, been there since 1932. Salute to y'all down by the railroad tracks. Piggly Wiggly, Joe and his friendly staff here in Collinsville, they'll help you in any way they can to earn your business and take care of your family. When it comes to your groceries, it's shopping with family. SMI Automotive, have you visited with Joe lately? If you need an accessory for your vehicle, a great place to do that. That's some of the folks that help us out there. And thank you. Now, let's talk forecast today. The Meridian area, and this is a line south of Philadelphia to Meridian through Quitman and taken in Newton today. Cloudy with a high of only 34. Now, we haven't quite got there yet. We're still at below freezing. And, you watch this. We don't have anything forecasted during the daytime hours in Meridian. Tonight, after dark, it'll be a 30% chance of freezing rain before midnight. So, Meridian, be inside. Now, this forecast is probably going to change a little bit, so I wouldn't wait to do something and push it off. This can be tweaked to where this rain can move in a little bit later. So let's watch that. Be on the safe side. 30% chance rain. Tonight's low 26. So whatever hits the ground is going to be a sheet of ice in the morning. Tomorrow at daybreak, 100% chance of freezing rain. Our high is at 33. It had been below. We'll watch that. That 1 degree, it could fall back. It may never reach the high. So it's going to be a mess all day long. 20-mile-an-hour gust. Ice accumulation. This is where and I'll have a chart for you here in a moment here. 0.1 of an inch to 0 to 0.3 of an inch for Meridian. That's a lot. 1/10 is bad. 0.3 is even worse. I've even seen some models that put our area as high as a half an inch. I don't think that will happen, but a shift in all of this and the temperature change could make it even worse. But whether it's 1/10 or 0.3 of an inch, it doesn't matter. It is just as deadly. And again, we are not a town, a community, a rural route that is used to any of this. Just plain spoken, we can't handle stuff like this. We're not equipped. Let's see, as we move into tomorrow night, it's going to be a low of 13. So everything that falls during the daytime tomorrow is going to remain there. 13 degrees. Now, they've taken out the accumulation that was going to continue into Monday night. That's out of the forecast now for Meridian. 13. So everything that falls during the daytime is going to be slick. They're saying on Tuesday morning we'll have sunshine and a high of 34. Let's hope it gets above freezing so some of that can melt, because if not, it'll still be kind of messy, because we'll drop back down to 19 degrees on Tuesday night. Now, by Wednesday, things shape up a little bit different. We get into about 45 with a 50% chance of rain, 100% chance of rain on Wednesday night. Thursday, 70% chance of rain. And here's our next small round. They're not giving us much on this. Thursday night for Meridian, a 20% chance of snow and freezing rain, low of 25. So if something does come down, we'll have another little messy situation. We are a few days away from that. That can change. 20% is not a lot, but it could increase, it could decrease. We'll watch that. All right, let's move up to Philadelphia. From there on up, as we travel from there on up toward Louisville and those areas of what's going to happen. Their forecast is a little bit different. Today, a 30% chance of freezing rain after 3 o'clock. So make sure you're back home by lunchtime, whatever you're doing in the Louisville area or north of Philadelphia, any of those lines there, make sure you're back home. Mixing sleet with after 4 o'clock this afternoon, it will be a high of 32, so freezing the entire day north of Philadelphia. Little to no accumulation is expected, is what they're saying. Tonight, 50% chance of freezing rain after midnight, low of 22. So all these areas that are north, Highway 19, any of those areas that you're going to be traveling toward out of Philadelphia, it's going to be messy as you head up that way. Leaving Neshoba County and going into Winston County as you get toward Noxapater. It'll be a mess, so watch it there. By tomorrow morning, 100% chance of freezing rain before lunch, then freezing rain and sleet with a high of only 27. Where Meridian, they're saying 34. Those few miles, that 30-mile difference, 35-mile difference, is going to be 27. Look at that degree difference. It'll be freezing all day. Gust of 20 miles an hour. Now, they're predicting at 0.2 of an inch to 0.4 of an inch possible in those areas. And again, I have seen models that showed it more, but 0.2 is a lot of ice. 0.4 is even more. So consider all this. Monday night, wind chill values above Philadelphia will be a -2. Now, they're looking at 3 to 4 here in the Meridian area, but a -2 is what we're expecting north of Philadelphia. Take heed. Tuesday, it does not in that area get above freezing, so the roads are not going to get any better. 17 on Tuesday night, still no better. By Wednesday, a 50% chance of rain will come back into the forecast, a high of 40. So it's still going to be wet as the temperatures that night will stay above freezing, 35. Still rain in that forecast, though. As you go into Thursday, 70% chance of rain above freezing, though. Thursday night will be a carbon copy of Meridian's forecast, 20% chance of snow and freezing rain with a low of 22, and then by Friday, all of this should clear out. So that's kind of where we are on these steps. All right, now let's switch over and let me pull up with the National Weather Service. And I want everybody to just really take heed on this. This is not something that, it's probably not going to happen. It is going to happen. It's going to be messy. And did I mention that they've named this thing? I want to say there was a movie star one time named this Uri. Am I right? This is the name of the storm, the system that is coming for us. It just seems like I remember some actor somewhere named Uri. I could be wrong. It might be. Let's see here. Watching from Hattiesburg, Lisa Neal Peavy. You must be at a rodeo, Lisa Peavy, because I know I've talked to several people that went down to a horse show. But I want to ride my horse. Good morning to Miss Alice Harrison. Peggy Newell watching from Nanawaya. Thank you so much for watching from that. We appreciate that. Tim Sauer says, good morning. Miss Sue Taylor, good morning. Let's see. Amy McGee Castle, if I'm pronouncing that right. Cassell. Let me rephrase that. Watching from downtown Union, Mississippi this morning. Linda Shoemaker-Luke watching from Scuba, Mississippi today. Also, Mark and Martha Robertson is watching. Carol Hedgepeth. How you been, Carol? Glad you're doing good there. That's going to be on the west side of Kemper County. Good morning from Newton, Mississippi to Liz Parks. Hadn't talked to you in forever, Liz. I hope you and your family's doing good. Also, Kayla Moore is watching from downtown Scuba. Alice Peden is watching this morning. Dwayne Chandler, all the way from Enterprise, Mississippi. We'll We'll talk Enterprise on maps here in just a little bit and show all y'all what's going to be coming your way as well. Joyce Elliott up this morning. Sissy McKee from Kemper County. Bailey, Mississippi. Salute. We're going to have to get some populations and figure out all this, why I do that. Scuba used to be 422 when we lived there. Now, I'm sure a couple people have moved in since I left, haven't they? James Anthony Ware watching this morning. Let's see here. Sheila McDonald is watching along with Lori Moore. I want to say Sebastopol, if I'm not mistaken. Jeremy Barnacastle, that's Walker, Texas Ranger Show, named Yuri, watching from Snell. Okay, that may be what it was that I'm thinking of. Lisa Scruggs says good morning, and Erica Gooden says good morning from Jackson, Mississippi. So hope everything's going well in Jackson. All right, let's pull up now what the National Weather Service is giving us, because some of this will probably shock you as what we've got. Let's talk about ice accumulations for today and who it's going to affect. Let's pull up this PowerPoint here. There is a chance, as we look at this map here, now everything that is west of that northwest corner of Philadelphia, this is going to be taken right in there, taken toward Louisville, this area here. You've got accumulation. This yellow area here, which takes in from central Lauderdale County and northwest, this is going to go over about where the Ralph Morgan Rodeo is, somewhere in between Ralph Morgan and NAS Meridian, right along in there. That's going to be that line where you turn to go to Cuba, Alabama, right in through there. This is going to cut across Marion and then back out here as we go to the split on 59 and take in, it looks like maybe Enterprise, possibly right in there. I'll zoom in on the map here in just a minute. We'll look at the communities and what it will affect. It's going to just barely miss, but I wouldn't count out. So if you're down here at Lake Edens, although that's right on the line, just consider it that it could possibly happen. A little bit of an ice threat this afternoon into tonight. Now, this is what you'll be waking up to in the morning. So be careful there. You see that on the map here. Newton County, you're all in it. All of Philadelphia, you've got something that's going to happen. As we look at record-breaking temps that are going to happen, Meridian and most of everybody that is watching me is under 3. Now, Jackson, Mississippi jumps to that 4. Wind chills below 0, single digits, so we're talking 9 degrees or less. Hypothermia is going to set in. It will be quick if you're outside. It's going to be tearing up pipes. We've talked about wrapping your pipes. Make sure you do that. All right, let's get here to the Meridian area, Philadelphia, Columbus, Starkville, all the way down through Lowell, Hattiesburg, Quitman. Temperatures below 15 degrees is what's going to happen. Single digit to sub-zero wind chills. So we're talking 9 to 0 is probably what we will get there. Damage exposed to pipes also. So this entire area now is under a record-breaking, you don't really hear the National Weather Service with all these words that they've used in the last day or so, but we've got some weather coming. All right, let's talk what to expect tomorrow. As I keep saying, West Lauderdale area is going to be sort of the line. You'll come in here at Lost Gap, and it's going to cut across the county, taking in all the West Lauderdale area, and that looks like that's going to come out probably around the Samdale Monument and cut into Kemper County right through there, and barely miss Portable and go up through Sickanotchee, and it will take in Giles, all this area here as you run toward the Bama line. You're going to be in the 3 category here. All of Newton, Philadelphia, Winston County as we go down through here, Leake, Scott, Smith County, and most of Jasper County. Now, the 2 areas are going to be the eastern side of Lauderdale County down to Olive Clark County and Laurel. Let's talk about accumulations that we talked about a second ago, and then I'll have a map that shows this next. Maybe you've seen that already. The red area is going to be 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice, up to 3 inches of sleet and snow possible. Now, the snow is not going to be anywhere near us. It's going to be in the Mississippi Delta. We can all be fooled because it's Mother Nature, but most likely snow is going to be far away from us, 3 to 4 counties up here in the Delta. Travel conditions are going to be very dangerous. Let's get down here to this 2 area where it splits Lauderdale County in half east back to the state line and down into to Clark County. 1/4 inch is expected is what we're looking at. Roads are going to be iced. You're not going to be able to go anywhere, and it's going to be power outages drastically throughout the area. So expect this. It's coming. All right, let's show the map now of who's going to get snow who's going to get ice. Now, some of this shows that there is a possibility of sleet and snow mixed. So we'll look at this and then look at our ice. There's been several. Each model on this tells you a little something different, but we are definitely getting it. So let's pull this up and take a look at this. Here on the left is what sleet and snow would be. There is a chance, and I would lean more toward the Meridian area, of getting a little bit of sleet rather than snow. Philadelphia, that sleet at 0.4. The further you get up here, this dark blue is most likely where the snow is going to fall from. Eupora down through Greenwood, through Yazoo to Vicksburg, that line through there. That is who is going to be probably getting the snow. You can count this in as sleet. Now, whether it's sleet or whether it's ice, it's slick, isn't it? It's going to be very, very dangerous. Let's flip over here to this one here. You look at Philadelphia north all the way up towards Starkville through this area, through Louisville here. It's probably going to be 0.4 of an inch, just shy of reaching a 1/2 inch of ice. So all of Newton County, look at this. Newton County, you're in this area here that's going to get this. Newton, Neshoba, and most of Kemper. Again, it's going to be the the West Lauderdale area here out in Lauderdale County, that northern part of the county up here, West Lauderdale, out toward Martin, all these areas. And the fire departments, I know these volunteer fire departments, you got to remember, they have to get to, in their vehicle, to their fire truck to get to you. The roads are going to be just as bad for them, and these guys work hard. They'll do everything they can to get to you. But save them some time. Stay off the road if you can, because it's not worth your life, their life, anybody's life. Just keep away from that. I just got a text that Meridian Surgery Center is going to be closed on Monday. So that comes from Lisa Neal. And also I got some other closings that I'm going to bring up here in just a second. So they're closed tomorrow. We'll get into the closings here again in a second. So pipes are going to bust. It's going to be a very serious situation as we look at that. This is what they're saying now for Thursday. Let's pull this up and take a look at this. Not saying, we've only got that 20% chance. They're saying that this is going to be up here in the Delta again with ice and possibly a little bit of maybe snow mixed in up in this area. We'll watch that. That's days away from us right now, so it's not a concern at the moment. Let me find where I've got, and I do have it. I just don't remember where I put it. Yeah, here we go. The closings that I've got right now, and I put this together last night. MCC classes on Monday and Tuesday will be online. EMCC, which is in Scuba, both campuses will do online. East Central Community College will do Monday and Tuesday. And Enterprise School District classes online have closed. I'm checking as many websites as I can to keep this updated. If you have information on any of this, inbox me, post it on the page so we can get this information out to others. Again, whether, everything is your decision of what you want to do. Weigh your life. If somebody tells you you've got to go somewhere, be somewhere, and I understand you got to eat, you got to work, but think about that. Is it worth your life? Talk to them. Good morning to Michelle Lewis, Jeff Lewis's wife there. I hope you're making that boy some biscuits this morning. Also, Debbie Walker, good morning, watching from Hickory this morning. We appreciate that. And again, if you've got a closing, make sure to do that. And let's readdress pets and animals. It is rough for them outside. This is going to be sub-zero disease. And I know a lot of people say, they got a bunch of fur on them, they can handle it. It's not that. It doesn't work that way. Bring those pups, those kitty cats in, put them in a laundry room, put some blankets down. Yeah, they're going to make a mess, but they'll live through it. Have a little humanity about you if you can. Save a life on that. And I brought this up last night. What do we do with people, the homeless? I don't know what's going to happen. I didn't realize that somebody had posted it last night that the Salvation Army only takes men, and then there's another organization that takes the ladies. I had no idea. I don't know if there's other places, other shelters set up. Every little town has got somebody that needs a little help. So I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying that people could get hurt. It concerns me, and we're all humane. Y'all remember the song "Mark Wills, Don't Laugh at Me"? That kind of really described it. The homeless guy standing on the street, his wife and kids were killed in a car wreck. drove him to where he lost everything he had. You don't know somebody's situation, but everybody needs a helping hand. So if you know of something, some organization that helps, post that so that can be passed along. Debbie just posted to take care of those kitty cats. Y'all should see. I have to dig up the picture. Debbie has built like a condominium for cats because she's concerned. You go, girl. Take care of those kitty cats. Jeff says Michelle can cook. Michelle Cook, get after it, girl. Take care of your husband in there. So that is a rundown of where we are right now with the weather, what's coming. I'll have numerous updates throughout the day as this stuff approaches. If you haven't thought of a generator, this will start making you think of it. A lot of times we think of only generators when it comes to hurricanes because you can be without it quickly with that. I just got mine installed, so we're good. If we only lose power, I'll be able to go. The only thing I'll have to fight is if we lose Comcast to keep on. I'm working on backups on that as well, but we should be able. I think it takes 20 seconds, I think, for the generator to flip on to go on. So we should be able to keep going no matter what the weather does here. And if you need a generator, stop in and see Sanders Gas. They can tell you about it. We'll run off propane, where you can tie it in if you've got gas heat, to where you don't have to bring diesel fuel plus propane. You can have it all in one and just tie it into your gas tank to where it'll turn on automatically. Very affordable, too. Look into it because it's just really worth it to have it to where you can still run your air conditioners, because it'll run everything I've got here in my studio and the house as well. I hadn't figured out how to hook my shop up to it, but I guess I don't need to be out there to do a few other things. Money, she's going into this. I had somebody, Melissa McWhorter, said that she had somebody that worked for the 911 service, and she's going in early just to stay at work to where she won't have to drive. So, and if you've got a job that requires you to be there regardless, that might not be a bad idea to go on in and be there. Take a blanket where you can, because hospitals, they've got to keep going. Those people really need care. But again, if you don't have to be out in this, do not do that. All right, pipes and things of that nature, plumbers aren't going to be able to get to you either. When this stuff starts throwing out, it's when it's going to bust and pop. As always, turn a little bit of the water on there to keep your water flow where you'll be able to use your toilets. It might not hurt to take some buckets of water, 5-gallon buckets, to keep those to where you could dump that into your toilets later if you bust a pipe to where you could still use it. Just thinking out loud, if you keep it in a room, 5-gallon buckets in a room where it's heated, it won't freeze. You could still use it. Just thought, in case you lose power on that. All right, I'll be back in a little bit again as let me pull radar up. We hadn't done that yet. Let's do that and go through what we've got on radar. I failed to do that. Let's look at what we've got here statewide. Wrong button, and here we go here. Let's zoom in on this. We've got some activity going on over at Greenwood right now. This is sleet that is coming in. As we look at this from Indianola, if you come out of Greenville on Highway 61 over to Indianola, all the way to Greenwood, that area there, and due south on Highway 49, we look at Yazoo, Mississippi. Yazoo is already getting precipitation. That has always been a rough word for me, precipitation. As we go back over in this area here toward Louisiana a little bit, we've got a little bit down here in the southwest corner of Mississippi here, the far corner there. And this is... y'all have heard of that town, Soka, Mississippi? Let's go over here. This is called Woodville, Mississippi. These areas here, winter storm warning, wind chill watch, hard freeze watch, all for them. A little bit of precipitation there. Baton Rouge, north of there, getting a little bit. New Iberia, south of Lafayette, getting a little bit of precipitation. As we look at this now, all around New Orleans now has that winter weather advisory. We had a couple people ask about travel from here to New Orleans. New Orleans is out of this as well now, so they're going to have issues as well. Let me flip a button and go over here and pull up what New Orleans is saying. Here's New Orleans here. If you'll look at that, they're not looking just to the west of there, 1/10 of an inch of ice there. You're not really getting, it's the roads coming into New Orleans that would be a problem. So don't go to New Orleans unless you absolutely have to. And if you have to, prepare, go on down there and be done with it. All right, let's go back to the map now and go across here. Shreveport, Louisiana, starting to get a little bit of this mix. Texarkana has got lots of it. As we go to Fort Worth, we go out here to Tyler, Texas, getting a little bit of sleet. We start getting into the snow at Fort Worth through Denton, Texas, and north. Oklahoma City, you've got a lot headed your way. Fort Smith, Arkansas, all the way up through Tulsa, Fayetteville. Do y'all remember Joplin? They got that horrible tornado a few years ago. They've got snow this morning, and lots of it. Columbia, Missouri, Kansas City, Topeka, all through there. Amarillo, if you make it there by morning, it's got lots of snow coming in this area here. Lubbock, Texas has it as well as we go down. Midland, Odessa, these areas out in Albuquerque, Santa Fe has got snow. Again, the closest that we've got is going to be the Mississippi Delta. This is where Meridian is on this map right here. You see the little hand move. It's a long way between there, so we're good right now. We move over into Alabama. We've got light showers on the edge of Alabama through Columbus, Georgia, Atlanta, a little light stuff. Tallahassee through Savannah, Jacksonville, getting the worst of rain showers this morning. Kissimmee, Florida, down in these areas, it's got a little bit also. So that's an overview of what the map has for us. And again, I appreciate everybody watching. If you wouldn't mind, share my page. If you'll go up to your friends list, hit invite. That lets people know that it exists and they can come to the page. It's weird how all of this works. I can't contact anybody that isn't a friend of mine to invite them. So the only way this stuff gets out is if you share it and invite others to be a part of it. Pretty simple, and it does work. And I appreciate everybody that does that for me. Like, share, do all that fun stuff. If you've got to feed animals this morning, bundle up before you go outside. You're going to need that. A big thank you also to Chino and his friendly staff at San Marcos Mexican Restaurant. Have you been there lately? Great folks. Sanders Gas, also Tiffany's Blues Decor here in North Hills, and also Equipment, Rick Justice Automotive, Kim's Photography, you get your pictures taken care of, and Graphics Guru. Thank you very much. I'll be back later on this morning with more updates as this winter storm warning comes our way through Mississippi and Alabama. Livingston, you're included this as well. We'll have more to come here at Scotty.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by